Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for non-charter qualifying for race 21 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. Tonight, we qualify at Kentucky Speedway as these drivers will look to make up the final 6 spots in later on today's Quaker State 400. On the pole position here tonight's going to be Laura Chung in the Ford Mustang out of Mills Motorsports, and alongside of her is going to be Joshua Osborne in the number 56 Mopar Challenger out of Evans Gardner Motorsports. Now, last week we're coming off the heels of the Chili Bowl's multiple races last season, or last week I should say, in which we saw 3 of the 4 events go to non-charter drivers, and it gives us a lot more storylines here in the non-charter series in these final 6 races of the regular season. Of the drivers that won last week, let's start first with Michael Wayne Robinson, picking up his first career victory. He has made 6 starts in the charter series so far. With 6 races remaining, if he can make it into at least 4 of those main event races, he will be in the playoffs, have made the 10 race marker that non-charter drivers with a chartered victory that is, need to have in order to absolutely gain a playoff position, much like what Chris Dollerton was able to do last week with his 10th start in his respective Chili Bowl heat. Dylan Schwallenberg, who's actually rolling off from the outside of row 2, last week won one of the heats and got his first career Duracell Cup Series victory. He has also made 6 starts this season, so he is also looking to make at least 4 of the 6 remaining starts here in the regular season. Dylan Poteet's got a little bit higher of a mountain to climb. He was another winner last week as he got his first win since Season 1 in Duracell Cup Series competition. He's got 5 starts so far this season, so he has to make all but 1 of this season's charter races for the remainder of the regular season. Has to go 5 for 6 to get a playoff position. And let's not forget, Dylan Poteet, back in Season 1 when he had a victory, also made the playoffs that season. Enough talk though, storyline still to come to follow, but it's time to go racing here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway.
Start your engines.
Pace car is going to lead the field off of pit road. They'll make their way around at about 50 miles per hour behind the Dodge Charger pace car. And you can check down in the description below for your full starting lineup for this evening's event. Same thing that we've had pretty much all season long. These drivers will be looking to make it in one of the top 6 finishing results, which will put them in 37th through 42nd in later on today's main event race. The main event itself is going to be 67 laps. It's 27 laps here tonight in the non-charter race. And I think we're going to see a very interesting Kentucky this season because based off of testing, both the inside and the outside line were able to work. The inside line works very early on the cooler tires where grip is at a maximum, but once that right front starts heating up, that outside line actually tends to get a little bit more speed. Will it come into play before we get to the end of this race is the main question, as here we go. Laura Chung and Joshua Osborne will bring us down. And the non-charter race for the Quaker State 400 here at Kentucky is green. Let's roll. Teammates gonna battle for second place as Rob Evans looks to the inside of Joshua Osborne. And now he gets put into the middle, 3 wide, with Harrison Ponder charging to the bottom in the Otter Island Motorsports Toyota Camry. Laura Chung is gone. Look at that as drivers put their left sides down there below the yellow line onto the apron. That is legal at Kentucky. And whoa, we got a problem for Laura Chung. What happened to the 27? It's like a 27 lost a gear or something. Something is clearly amiss, and L Chung, who was the race leader and had a pretty sizable lead, is now off the pace. What the heck was that? I've never seen that before. At least it's been a long time since I've seen the race leader have a mechanical failure. L Chung is now on pit road. Oh, that is a tough break as the lead is now turned over to D Schwallenberg in the 46. D Schwallenberg out of DCM Motorsports, or DCM Racing, I should say. As we just talked about before going green, has to make 4 more starts in the Charter Series. If he finishes in the top 6 here tonight, that's one step closer. The Evans-Gardner Motorsports teammates cannot get away from each other. Osborne and Rob Evans side by side for second place again. Now you've got a number of Toyotas behind them. Gracious, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Toyotas behind them. Harrison Ponder, Brad Stover, Quentin Moore with his teammate S Ozkan to his outside. J Taurus and A Sampsell. That's actually 6 Toyotas. So right now you've got nothing but Toyotas and Dodges up here inside of the top 9 positions. Then you got to go all the way back to 10th to find our first Chevrolet, which is Arthur Xavier in the 24 car. 3 wide there, and you saw Quentin Moore. He had to be the one to back out of that situation on that inside line. Starting to see the outside line come into play a lot earlier than I expected, as Harrison Ponder is going to use it to get around S Ozkan, move himself up into the top 5. Dropping the 70 back into the final transfer spot. So Schwallenberg's up here at the front, now under fire from Joshua Osborne for the top position. What about our other 2 non-charter drivers? As we're 3 wide back here, N Amoedo, Daniel Voyles splitting the Liberty University Chevrolet of Seth Cole. There's one of our winners last week from the Chili Bowl, Michael Wayne Robinson. As L Chung has returned back to the track, it looks like, in the 27. Robinson right now running in the 20th position. And D Poteet right now is running last of the cars in this lead group, back in 25th place. Didn't really get the benefit of a good qualifying result here tonight, did D Poteet, nor really did Michael Wayne Robinson. And they've got to really make forward progress sooner rather than later, too. 27 laps, doesn't take long for that to get turned here at Kentucky, especially if we run all these laps under green flag conditions, as we have had a lead change. Joshua Osborne has gone to the point. Rob Evans looking to make it a EGM 1-2. Try to get the inside of Schwallenberg there through 3 and 4. Schwallenberg going to hold the spot in that Advanced Auto Parts Toyota Camry. And we're 3 wide back here for the 5th position, which is right around where the transfer spot would be. And I believe Brad Stover is going to clear Harrison Ponder, taking that 6th spot. Here comes D Schwallenberg with a big run, trying to take the race lead back away from Joshua Osborne. Let's see if he can do it. Didn't run real low there through 3 and 4. Let the car kind of ride up in the middle groove. Got a little bit of grip. He'll get alongside of Joshua Osborne, and I believe he might have led that lap. Yes, he did. 3 100s. Schwallenberg led that lap by. And Schwallenberg's going to go back to the point. Rob Evans going to go into 2nd place. So it looks like the outside line works best over in 3 and 4. Inside line's the preferred line over in 1 and 2. And man, Joshua Osborne going way up there on the outside line there through 3 and 4. It's going to help him be able to maybe hold off S Ozkan for 3rd place, but it did not gain him any ground in battling for 2nd place with 65 of Rob Evans. Rob Evans does have a non-charter win this season. That was back at the Indianapolis road course. But Evans is also looking to make it into the main event for the 4th time this season. As Chris Dollerton, the 83, we know that we'll be seeing him in the playoffs after his win at Manassas, and he made his 10th charter race start. last week in his Chili Bowl heat. He's right now behind Brad Stover in the 80 car, but obviously Chris Dollerton would like to make a couple more starts in the Charter Series before the regular season comes to a close, get a little bit more experience of the competition he's going to have to deal with. It's going to be interesting too because of the fact that with Chris Dollerton being a chartered machine, that means that a chartered driver is actually going to get moved down here to the non-charter series during the playoffs. And the way that that works is however many drivers move up to the charter series from the non-charter series as a playoff contender, that many drivers, the lowest in the point standings, would be dropping down here to the non-charter series. Right now, the driver that sits lowest in the standings of the chartered cars would be Kyle Matthews. And of course, there's a couple of other drivers in trouble, like Jessica Shelton, Carter Fries, and William Brock, if drivers like Schwallenberg, Michael Wayne Robinson, and Dylan Poteet are all able to make the required number of starts to be able to get playoff positions themselves. That also really shakes up the playoff standings, too, if we end up having as many as 4 non-chartered drivers in the playoffs, because that means there's only 12 spots available for chartered drivers to make it in. And we've definitely got more than 12 different race winners this season, I do believe. I'll tally that up real quickly, find out exactly how many we really do have. Actually, we've got 13 chartered drivers have gone to victory lane this season so far. Here's the transfer spot, and a new driver has it. How about the Dodge of Tyler Gehrdes? So now you got Dodge making up 50% of the transfer spots, Toyota making up the other 50%, and 3 wide for the 7th position. Sampsell, Brad Stover, and Arthur Xavier. Now Tristan Allen charging up the middle, as Brad Stover will take that spot. He had that 3 wide situation cleared before they even got to the first corner. Now he sets his sights on Tyler Gehrdes for a transfer spot. Michael Wayne Robinson is making some progress. It is slow, but he is making progress. He's now up to 15th, and Dylan Poteet has managed to pick up a couple spots as well since we last checked, moving from 25th up to 22nd. A thing that we have not talked about here tonight, and the reason being I don't really think it's going to come into play, but then again, nothing is certain, is the possibility of a pit road green flag stop before the conclusion of this race. And we were looking 3 wide for 4th. It's just going to be Evans to the inside of Quentin Moore, with Tyler Gehrdes running there behind the fellow challenger. But 27 laps, I kind of figured that more than likely they'd be able to make it that distance on fuel. But if not, I mean, that could be very interesting in terms of who's going to transfer in and who is not. Quentin Moore with a big run going into turn 3. Getting alongside Joshua Osborne. Seems like if you could stay alongside of the driver you're battling through 3 and 4 on that inside line, you could then make the pass over in 1 and 2. But you saw right there, Quentin Moore could not get back to the throttle nearly as soon as Joshua Osborne did. And Rob Evans jumps up to the top side there in 1 and 2 and actually gets a pretty decent run off the second corner. Rob Evans should be able to take that 4th position here at 3 and 4. Yeah, got it before they even got to turn 3. Keeping an eye on that Valvoline 93 of Michael Wayne Robinson, who, remember, did not even start this season as the driver of the 93 car. Mike Wiley was actually the 3rd entry out of KB Racing Enterprises, the 2nd non-charter entry. And around mid-season, got replaced by Michael Wayne Robinson. So in a limited number of starts, Michael Wayne Robinson has been able to make 6 chartered events. And he is now knocking on the door for a transfer spot right now, looking to the inside of Tyler Gehrdes. So he has definitely been on a roll. And I'll tell you what, you have the non-charter series, but I would wonder just how much of a challenger for Rookie of the Year Michael Wayne Robinson would have been here if he had been a chartered machine, and he has moved into a transfer spot. Just got around T Gehrdes up into 6th place. And he's turning some lap times faster than the other drivers outside the top 5 as well. Obviously, draft is coming into play for that, but I mean, Michael Wayne Robinson in the last 10 laps has picked up 9 positions. So that car is flying. Speaking of flying, how about flying to the front? S Ozkan tried to make the move there on D Schwallenberg. Doesn't have him cleared. And Schwallenberg's going to keep the position. And now Michael Wayne Robinson's got a lot of company. Brad Stover got a huge run down the back straightaway, bringing Tristan Allen along with him. T Gehrdes is marching back to the front. And J Osborne has thoughts for the race lead. And we're going to almost go 3 wide for the 4th position. Things are getting wadded up now. So a lot can happen here in the final 5 laps of this race. 4.5 to go as they hit the start-finish line. I'm sorry, 4.5 on the back straightaway. 4 laps to go at the start-finish line, I should say. And Schwallenberg is going to hold off Joshua Osborne for the time being. Osborne gave it a yeoman's try as now Michael Wayne Robinson tries to get a run on the 56 for 2nd place. Now look at this transfer spot. Evans and Gehrdes right now hold 5th and 6th. We got Brad Stover, Tristan Allen, Arthur Xavier looking to make a late race charge. Robinson now looks to the inside of Osborne for 2nd place. Tristan Allen tries to get around the top side of Rob Evans for the final transfer spot of 6th. And he gets alongside. Robinson looking to stay alongside of D Schwallenberg. You've also got the 56 right there as well. Joshua Osborne thought about going up to a 3rd groove, couldn't make it work. And Robinson's looking for the lead. This 93 car is on a different planet here tonight. He has been a hard charger, and he finally makes his way to the front. Last week, he took a checkered flag in a chartered event, and he's only 2 laps away from taking a checkered flag 1 week later in a non-charter event. Telling you what, if this 93 makes the playoffs, look out, rest of the playoff contenders. As right now, the battle for the transfer spot is on. Looks like M Ozkan's going to drop back to the 6th position. Tristan Allen jumps to his outside. Ooh, saw him lift a little bit there to Tristan Allen, maybe because it's wadded up on that outside line as the white flag is going to be displayed this time by Michael Wayne Robinson is gone. D Schwallenberg also has a pretty sizable gap back to 3rd place. So it looks like the both of them are going to be transferring into the main event. And remember, these are 2 winners from last week who are trying to make as many starts as they possibly can before the regular season comes to a close for their wins to count towards playoff positions. For Robinson, he's going to make his 7th start of the year. For Dylan Schwallenberg, he's going to make his 7th start of the year. As Michael Wayne Robinson is going to come around, and he is going to take the checkered flag here tonight at Kentucky Speedway in the non-charter race. Schwallenberg, Quentin Moore, T Gehrdes, Tristan Allen, and Arthur Xavier are going to be the 6 drivers to transfer into the main event as the 15 and the 24 snipe those final 2 transfer positions on the final lap of this race. The Evans Gardner Motorsports cars of Joshua Osborne and Rob Evans were in the transfer spots when they took the white flag, but they will finish 7th and 8th in the conclusion of tonight's 27-lapper and will not transfer into the main event race. So Chris Dollerton already has staked his claim as a non-charter driver that will be in the playoffs, and Michael Wayne Robinson and D Schwallenberg just made their opportunity a little bit easier with top 2 finishes here tonight and transferring into their 7th charter race of the season, which means now they're just going to have to make 3 of the next 5 regular season races for playoff spots to count for each one of them. Laura Chung, we never really got to find out what exactly happened to her, but credit the driver splitting her 3 wide when she was that off the pace and not having a caution come out. She came down pit road, got whatever the issue was repaired, and headed back out on the track, albeit 4 laps down. And that was from the pole position. It's a tough break for her. But 6 drivers that will be seen in the main event later on tonight, along with the chartered machines: Michael Wayne Robinson, Dylan Schwallenberg, Quentin Moore, Tyler Gehrdes, Tristan Allen, and Arthur Xavier. So we will see you guys momentarily for the 67-lap main event here in the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Thanks for tuning into this non-charter race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full page of results. And again, we'll see you guys momentarily for our charter race here tonight, race 21 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. You've been watching another production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.